Hey guys, hope everybody is doing well, but we're gonna jump right into it. I just want to speak on the art of like manifestation, visualization, and stuff like that. And it's not gonna be boring, I promise y'all, because I know so many people like, well, how did you do it? Or sorry, get a message. How you do it, or you know how you get what you get. Okay. Mine is gonna be a little bit of both, like how you get what you don't get, what you do get, things like that. And I'm a little under the weather, so my voice may sound weird. And you're on my Bluetooth, so hopefully it's coming through how it's supposed to. I need to bring my mics in the car. But yeah. So one thing I realized is that in this life, number one, if you don't know, you always get what you want. Always get what you want. And I know people like, shit, I want $1 million, but I ain't got it. Listen, if you haven't gotten your $1 million, there's something within you, or something in your form, your thought process, or your subconscious, which is like what's really pulling the strings, that's saying like you don't feel worthy of it, or you got like some limiting beliefs that you grew up with. A lot of people that have grown up like in survival mode may have grown up a bit poor, may have grown up where you were told no all the time, or don't touch nothing. People, when you go in the store, we was told that a lot, probably other people too, but I'm speaking from my experience. Yeah, or you just have a like mind state. It's a lot of people that do and don't understand it or don't know it because it's just buried. They feel like, oh well, in my reality, I got this or that. Or you may have Chanel based this and that, but that $1 million ain't come yet, right? Or you may have to do certain stuff to get the luxury, or somebody else is in control of your luxury. It's because of your limited beliefs. But that's a whole nother video. So number one, you always get what you want. You gotta understand that. And you always gonna have what you need. Now, if and when you are put into a situation where it is a lack situation, you gotta ask yourself, what did I misstep at? What did I do that I probably really didn't want to do? Because sometimes we'll follow up behind our family, people that we trust, we think we trust, spouses, friends, whatever, and we'll do what they want to do. When really we want to do this, or our spirit's telling us go this way, and we go the other way, or we go the way of society telling us to. Like, oh, I'm gonna go be a doctor, knowing damn well you want to be a football coach. You know what I mean? Like, that's just an example. You feel what I'm saying? You probably want to be a pro athlete, but your people telling you to be an attorney, a lawyer, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Make some money. Like where I'm from, if you have a profession, a nurse, a doctor, a a profession that makes money for these type of people, guess what? You won in life. But if you are not fulfilled in that, what did you win? If they won I guess I don't know, like the praise, give the praise, say my people this, my daughter this, my da this, just bragging rights. But when you go to work, you not happy at all. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be in this situation. So now you just finding little pieces of time to go be the athlete that you want to be. Go run, go play football, or you're not. And you're just like, I don't like it here. You're just miserable. And you ready to check out, right? Okay. Or no, a lot of people tell them, go get married. Or society tells people, get married, have kids, and have your husband. And you may not be that happy. You might love your kids. You might even love your husband, but you probably want to be a career woman. You probably wanted to own your own business. You probably, you know what I'm saying, all these things. You probably wanted to be the doctor. You know what I'm saying? You probably been up there like Dr. Mustafa since you was a kid, putting band-aids and gauze and all that on people. But since society, or the dream of just growing up and having children and just being a stay-at-home mom, it's cool, but what is it for you? You know what I mean? So once you put those plans in play, now let's get back to the subject of, okay, I'm just gonna go have kids. Okay, this man loves me, he want to marry me, I guess I'll go ahead and be married. Oh, he want to have kids, and then you want to have kids, and you think like, okay, maybe we do this, do that, and then I could just, every step of the way you trying to figure out a way to get out and get to what you want. And then guess what, these people start to say, oh no, stay home. Oh no, you're a mom, I don't want you to work. I don't want you to do nothing, I just want you to take care of the kids and clean the house. Okay? Or vice versa. Some people want to stay at home and just clean the house, and they can't because they spouse or they person that they thought was their spouse, now they gone or they passed or they just don't want to assist, and now you're a single mother, or and now you're taking care of your kids on your own, and you can't get into your dream or your thing, and you can't figure out how to get into it. It's a whole thing. Sometimes what we want can take a back seat because you then navigated away from what your heart or your spirit really wants for you. And a lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, those detours are needed, because at that point you put yourself in a situation, and I'm going to say put yourself, because one thing I've learned is a lot of people like to blame other people for their reality. And then most of the time for me with that type of stuff is either you were put into that situation, because some people don't pick, like, okay, let me go that way or this way. Some people don't pick it, like children. Like my upbringing, I didn't pick to be there. I might have picked a bit before I got here, I don't know. But either way, in my conscious mind, I know I didn't choose that, but I needed to be there because I needed to learn certain lessons. So sometimes your path will take you certain places and with people and lessons and things like that to give you those lessons and to build upon those lessons. Now, sometimes you do make a choice and it's not, I wouldn't even say it ain't right, because there's no right or wrong, to be honest. It just puts you in the lesson of, oh, I might need to just worry about my damn self. And a lot of us, that's a big lesson that a lot of us have, especially people pleasers and things like that. We don't understand that the first initial thing we need in this life is to worry about us. Make sure we're straight first. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're happy first, and then build around that. And to be honest, if you are happy in your energy, it's just of that, like, damn, okay, I'm good. I am happy. My spirit is happy. My soul is happy. My heart is good in here. Like, you are aligned. Everything else will fall into place. Even when it don't seem like it, even when it's like, damn, that's not what I thought it would be. That's what it is, what you need. But at the same time, always understand you always get what you need. So let's get back on topic. So the art of manifestations, you always get what you want, whether you want it or not. So it's like, for me, one big thing that came to me this morning, the download, was like your biggest fear happening, right? This is a perfect example of what you don't want to coming into reality, but it's because you didn't want it, and you focus your energy on it. It came to reality anyway, because it don't matter that did not want it. I learned a long time ago, it's like the universe and God and all this energy shit, it don't understand the not. It don't understand like, oh, I do not want this. It only understands where you're focusing that energy at. Okay, so this is just a broad example. You don't like spiders, you don't like snakes, okay, right? And you can tell me down to a T why you don't like snakes. You could tell me down to a T, oh, they're little scales and da-da. If it's a spider, you say, oh my God, they got these beady eyes and their little legs, and like, you can tell me down to a T why you don't like these things, right? Or people, or anything like that, right? Or just whatever. You can say down to a T. Like, even the experience that you don't want to have, you can say, I would just be traumatized if this happened to me because this. Like, you know down to a T. Like, you already put it down in your head and your mind, and you know why you don't want this or that, right? Cool. That is energy focusing on that thing. don't matter if it's something that you don't want. It don't matter that you would just fucking fall out and die if this happened to you. But it's happening because you have already placed energy there. Therefore, it's stating you do want that. Whatever you put your energy, what is it? Energy flows and where it's gonna grow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wherever the energy go, that's where it's going to go, and that's where it's going to be. And that's what the universe is gonna say. Oh, okay, that's what I'm gonna put forth that, because I'm gonna make a situation where that happens, because that's what the energy, where the energy's at. So that's a clear, broad example. But let me tell you my life example. I'm gonna tell you two. One of my I guess fears was I didn't want to get into a car accident with my daughter in the car. Like, that was like, and it was like, what the heck, you know? And then I'm gonna tell you too, this is how it can go both ways, right? Let me finish that thought. Oh Lord, I think I got ADHD, but or ADD, whatever. But so I end up getting into a car accident with my daughter in the car. An older lady, like geriatric old, she was driving, blew through a stop sign. I was turning, left, and she was approaching the stop sign, and she blew right through it, T-boned me and my daughter. Thank God my daughter was sitting behind me. I think I had just changed the seat too. That was crazy. And my daughter was sitting behind me. Oh, sorry y'all, PTSD. So what had happened was, we got into the accident. The older lady said she thought the gas was the brake. And then it's so crazy that she tried to like leave, but I wasn't going. I'm like, hell no, you know, I'm going off, because I had clicked out for a second. That's how hard she hit us. I had like went unconscious for a second. And my daughter, she wasn't like screaming, she was just like whining. And of course, as soon as I came to, I'm checking on my daughter, and I'm looking like, where'd the lady go? But she ended up coming back around. But when she came back around, her husband was driving. I said, oh no, you know, I went off. Oh no, y'all, then you gonna try to do a switcheroo? I know that lady was driving. I saw her. So, because I'm looking like, is she gonna stop? Like, what's happening? Like, but I'm already in the turn, so it was no way for me to come up out of it. But when I saw that she was coming like past the stop sign, I tried to like hit the gas a little bit, so it kind of hit my back tire. That's how my car got totaled. But if I didn't do that, she definitely would have T-boned us like fully in the middle. But yeah, so that happened, and I was like, what the heck? And I was just, even in the moment, I was terrified, y'all, because I'm like, this is like my biggest fear, my baby. Like, I was just, it was a wreck, right? So, mind you, around that same time, I wanted a second car. I was actually in the process of manifesting a brand new car. I wanted a brand new car. I was young. I wasn't that young, but it was after 25 for sure. I wanted a brand new car off the lot. Never had one. I always wanted one. I always worked hard, but just know, like, one of my biggest things growing up was, number one, we was always taught to not use credit. So when I did use my credit, I let somebody else use it, and that was just a no-go. I co-signed for somebody. That was a no-go. Of course, that didn't go well, and we know many stories about that, right? So when I did get to the point where all that pretty much came off, and I'm like, okay, I work hard, I want a brand new car off the lot, right? So I'm like, okay, just manifesting it, working, doing whatever. And in that same instance, the universe set it up to where not only did I get my fear, which was really not a fear, just was what it was, because I put energy there, and that was one of my biggest fears, but energy was already flowing that way, right? And then also the universe got, okay, well, you want both? Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna make the play so you get both. I ended up getting a brand new car. because of the accident. Yep, because of the accident, I got a brand new car off the lot. So not only was my regular car paid off, I didn't really owe much on that because it was like a used car, but it was, I ain't owe much on that. I had just did the payments to get my credit up. So when I did that, it like my credit was where it's supposed to be. I guess Spirit and God them said, hey, all right, let's go. And one thing I learned from that is wherever your energy goes, it flows. Whatever you want, you get. But also, when you are manifesting, please say and make it clear, for the harm of none, like in love all, because some stuff can happen and somebody could die, somebody could be harmed, and you know what I'm saying, in the process of your manifestation. So just be careful with that. One of the things, and also speaking on that, watch where your energy goes, and your energy is your thoughts and things too. Another one, perfect example of something I did not want, but I also know now, like, it's really not your fault. But I really struggle with this, and this is me being very transparent, y'all. I struggle with this for a long time. I'm okay now. I'm more so emotional just about the fact because it is a loved one, and the emotion is just me, basically a self-expression of the love that I have for my brother. So one of my brothers, let's start here. The fear was, growing up, is getting a phone call from my family or whatever the case may be that one of my brothers had passed. So background, if you don't know, if you haven't watched my other videos, you should. And I am an only girl of 10 kids, and I have pretty much 9 brothers if you do the math, because some people are like, what? I have 9 brothers. I'm the only girl. It's 10 of us. So one of my not my babies, one of my fears was, I just can't deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, that would just break me if my phone rang in the middle of the night and one of my brothers were hurt or worse, So it was just like, so when it happened, like, I was just, they're here now. Hey, y'all. I was just like stuck, really, and I was just devastated to the point, y'all, I lived about 2 hours, probably a little over 2 hours away from my hometown when this happened. Y'all, when it happened, I literally got in my car. I don't even remember what was the speed limit. I know it was over 100 that I was doing on the way there. I got there probably an hour or under. Like, I got there so fast. Even everybody that was speaking to me, like, wait, what? Where were you? Like, how did you get here? It's like I literally teleported. But I had zoned out the whole time that I was driving. Mind you, I had my boyfriend at the time with me. He was like, kind of, like, soft begging me to drive. Like, you sure? Like, because at first he's like, you sure? I'll drive, don't worry about it. And I was just like, no. And I think also I needed the distraction. But at the same time, I was like, no. Because I'm like, I got to get to my brother. But during the whole ride, he like, I think he was scared. Because you should, like, I would drive, just pull over. It's okay. Like, no. And I can hear him. But most of the time, I probably wouldn't even answer him because I was just so zoned out. But that's another thing of, what you don't want happening, your fear, to come into fruition. Now, my brother did end up passing. Like, when I got there, like, after a little bit, he did pass, right? And it like ate at me, because I'm like, that was a fear. But at the same time, of course, we can't play God. So I couldn't call the shot that he'd go. You feel what I'm saying? It was just an example of one of my fears coming into reality happening. And that's why I said, like, I struggled with that one, because it was like, damn, did I do that? Because I was, at the time, this was like, I was probably like 27, 28 maybe. And, around 25, once my frontal lobe had developed, I really started realizing like just how much power we do have, and you start coming into that space of who you are really and how much power you do possess. And like I said, I had by that time I manifested. That car came after. But either way, like I was learning about energy and shit, right? So when that happened, and then down, I'm like, oh my God, like, did I do that? Like, I had struggled with that. But also, it just was also that space of understanding your energy and where your energy goes and flows, and like really redirecting it. Of course, you don't want to hear or feel or whatever, like your people getting hurt, getting that call in the middle of the night, whatever. But redirecting it and understanding like, okay, no, all my family's protected. You know what I'm saying? Everything is working for my greatest hands, good for me and my family and the world. Like, I pray for everybody, really. But even understanding like whatever happens is not up to me, and also death is not the worst thing that can happen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? To me, and this is just me, like I said, the emotion is just me loving them, but also understanding this is pretty much just a me too. The spirit is in the body, and really you are kind of tethered and caged into this body. But that's just me. So I'm at a space in time where I understand that, and I understand that, yeah, I might just miss their physical being, you know what I mean? But at the same time, their spirit and their energy. And to be honest, I'm happy that they got free from, I'm gonna just say it, this hell space. Because look what's going on. Y'all, let me share y'all something with y'all. I understood that, the children are, and I'm talking about like on this earth, are in danger, right? All of us pretty much is at this point. It's just, it's in the air. But a lot of the children are in danger, right? And I have some social work background as well, and some background in like DCS and all this. So I'm sitting there yesterday, came across my consciousness a video, a man talking about like the foster care system and adoptees and things like that. And then he was talking about like they literally have like this Tinder kind of website or app where you can swipe left, swipe right on getting a kid. Huh? And then they do trial runs. So, okay, give us your information, we'll give you a trial run with a human being. And it's for a little nothing. It's certain agencies out here that have websites, like dating sites. I wouldn't say like dating sites, but you know what I'm saying, like profiles. The kids literally have profiles. I like spaghetti. I love to play with toys. Where you literally very little information to get these children. Mind you, these children are not wards of the state. These children have been adopted straight out, or adopted from out of DCS. And since the adopted parents don't want them anymore, they are just posting them like a wanted ad. This kind of opened my mind up a lot more. At the same time, it's like, oh, y'all out in the open doing it now, which is something that I feel like they've been doing anyway. But like, I'm like, at least it was like the black market, and I'm not saying it's good or bad that they whatever. I need to get in this gym because I gotta go to work. But it was just like, that just blew my mind, y'all. That blew my mind. And the only thing you pay is a rehoming fee. Like a cat. Like an adoption of a cat or a dog. They are auctioning off these children. And I said, what? They even had little fashion shows where they dress them up, put makeup on them and everything. And if you want the information of that, I will let you know. I will send it to you. There's literal videos. Look up rehoming. I think that's one of the videos. Rehoming it's something rehoming something, but it's about foster care kids, or like the foster care system and things like that. But that one of the videos is called like rehoming something. Just type that in. I'm telling you, it's gonna come up on YouTube. Y'all, I'm sorry. That was just on my mind. But yeah, you always get what you want. You always get what you want. So that's why you also see a lot of videos of people telling you like, this is how I manifested my house, my car, my whatever. This is how I did it. Like literally putting energy towards it, literally sitting there. You can meditate with it. Let me tell you another big one about just how what I wanted came to fruition because of the energy I put towards it. I wanted to be a landlord and purchase a building, right? I wanted my first house to be a multi-family home, and I was going to house hack it. If you don't know what house hacking is, it's basically like buying a multi-family home, meaning like multiple units, apartment building, whatever, duplex, whatever. You rent out the other spaces, you stay in that one space. Like you stay in one space, you rent out the other ones, and pretty much you stay rent free because everybody else is going to pay the mortgage if you don't are having outright what's named it, or the taxes, whatever, and everything else. So, and then you, whatever money you save, you know, you do it again, or you go buy your house. So I'm like, okay, that's what I want to do. I literally I did the 369. I want to say I did 369 a couple times, but one of the things I did that kind of like really worked for me, that I wasn't too like, I gotta keep doing this, because 369 method, it can get very tedious. I will not lie, and sometimes you forget, and I didn't like that. So what I did do was just writing down what I wanted. I write it down 3, like, whatever you call it, I guess, things to do to get there. Like what can you do now to go and get there, like the steps, and off those 3 things. And I just read it 3 times a day. I read it 3 times a day, and of course I worked on them things at least once, whatever. But I at least read the goals, like the multi-family home, credit, those 3 things. Just read them literally 3 times a day, and I read them at the same times, around the same time. So I would read it when I woke up. I would read it. I would read it when I was like on break at work. So that was the middle of the day. And then I would read it before I went to sleep, or like when I got home, whatever, just in the evening. I would try to read it before I go to sleep if I didn't remember it, because sometimes you just get sleepy. So I would try to like just read it, like, okay, if I come home, then I'm gonna read it, or once I get my daughter, I'll read it, and then cool. But I at least read it 3 times a day. So I would just do that, and that kept my goals on my forefront of my brain, and to keep them, you know what I'm saying, just generating. But that, in this feeling, taking at least 5 minutes or a couple seconds, whatever you get, to just feel it, to just like read one and be like, yes, like I'm turning the key. Like mine was a month ago, I'm turning the key, I'm doing the walkthrough with my people, with my tenants, I'm doing background checks, you know, I'm doing showings. Like I was just like, you know, putting myself in that aspect. But it's on, like, start small. Even if you could do one, say you got one go, do one, sit there for at least a couple seconds, or to 5 to 15 minutes, whatever, and just feel it. Like feel and walk through that life, like outside of what you're doing there. How does your house look? You know what I'm saying? How does your car look? What's your car look like? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do with the money? You know, like just all of that. Like, how does your kids feel? Where you gonna go on vacation with all this money? Or if it's not a money thing, like where are you gonna go? How you feel when you got your husband, or whatever, you know, your thing is. And just feel it. Like I said, even if it's a couple seconds, just feel it, and just see yourself in it, and do it 3 times a day. I'm saying this, I just looked out because I'm like, damn, I need to do that again. But do you ever get to a space in your life where you're like, I don't even know what I want right now? Because it's like, once you start to realize a lot of stuff that you thought you wanted, and that comes from, I do believe, like society like telling you like, oh, you should want this, you should want that, and you should do. No, but it's really like evaluating, what do you really want? Like, I'm in that space. Like, what do you really want? And it's just like, I think I'm being a little bit too careful. Like, what am I manifesting? Like, being careful about my thoughts, being careful about what I even write. Like, this is what I want. Kind of being general, but generally in a good way. Like, yeah, I just want to be me. Like, I want to be my abundant, divine, but abundant self. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just living in that birthright of my abundance. So, and just staying in my God energy for real. But that's really where I'm at. Like, I could tell y'all that, like, that's my not my dreams, but you know what I'm saying, my basics right now, because I'm really thinking like, which way do I want to go with this? Knowing that I'm a master manifester, knowing that I can have whatever I want in this world, ain't nothing off limits for me, right? So it's just like, dang, what do I really want? And I'm multifaceted. I think all of us are multifaceted and gifted in a way. But even the gifts that I have already, and I'm not even talking like spiritual, just things that I can do, that I know I can do, that I, have done. Like, what do I want to put my energy towards to like master those even more? Like, those are the things I'm kind of sitting with. Yeah. But yeah, you can have whatever you want. I know it sounds so corny. My eyebrows look crazy. I know it sounds corny. I know it sounds like, I don't think so. Because sometimes we get in these spaces where it don't look like we have what we want. What it looks like lack. And you look around like, girl, on the bottom, wherever you at, I promise you, that is the perfect space to start. Wherever you at, you're in a perfect position to start. Wherever you at. It don't matter if you sit in a jail cell. It don't matter if you sit on the ground and homeless. I promise you, that's the most perfect space for growth. So remember, you can have what you want, and you do always get what you want, whether you want it or not. You've always said what you need. That's how you got to this point. So don't like overthink it, like me. No, like, just don't doubt it, because that doubt will block everything you want. So release the doubt. And even if you're like in a space of lack and don't have, like, so one of my big things too is like, so why would I doubt anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Look around, look at our world right now. Like, why am I doubting anything? It's no point. Yeah, I might not want certain things to happen, but if I focus on that, then they might happen. You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes I just blank out, y'all. I barely watch TV. I have to watch TV. I find myself watching TV or doing things that I like to help me blank out. You know what I mean? Like, clean mind, clean slate, because I think it like the break be needed. Like, I need a break for my mind to just be. That's why I'm gonna go work out now, because also it helps me all the way around, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, to align my energy, to move that energy, all those things. So finding those spaces where I can move my energy and use them, and I call these like my combo moves, like that helps in all areas of my life, because I also feel like if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you just like, it's just good. Like, I feel like you able to think better too, when it comes to manifesting and not thinking so negative, because what you put in your body, what you do with your body, definitely matters. And the government knows that. That's why all the good stuff is highly priced or hard to source. Other than that, yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna get in this gym. I'm kind of tired. I'm coffee. I'm not supposed to drink coffee. Oh, baby, I think that's my vice right now. Again, I'm on and off coffee person. So I'll see y'all later. It's been real. I love you in real life. I hope y'all have an amazing every day. See y'all later.